welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 460. Now get that right, it's 460, not like Tony put it in his post, which was 450. I guess he didn't like episode 450, he wanted to go back. So, this show is brought to you by Primary Arms and VZ Grips. In this show, we'll be discussing 511 hiking boots, 5.0s, TORO revolvers, Carmel, I don't know, the stuff you eat maybe.
Carmel.
Trigger
no hump camel.
Trigger assemblies, and a Kershaw. As you may know, we showcase guns, gear, and anything else you may be looking for. We do our best to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm Chad Wallace, and with me tonight we have Tony, Rob, and Rusty. So, Primary Arms sent me a new something to talk about. So, this month, Primary Arms Optics has released a new line of SLX and GLX 10x42 binoculars. They deliver premium performance and features for a fraction of the price. The SLX binoculars offer edge-to-edge clarity with enhanced color definition and image brightness. A close minimum focal distance and wide field of view make them an easy to use at any distance. If you want even greater performance, the GLX binoculars add premium ED glass and a magnesium body with rubber overmold. Priced at $129.99 and $259.99 respectively, Primary Arms' SLX and GLX binoculars are certain to be a top choice for both outdoor and travel enthusiasts. So,
I could use those.
Yeah, I actually, when I was reading this, I was like, I thought of Rusty. I'm like, Rusty could probably use a good set of binoculars. Yeah. So, on that note, our Primary Arms product of the week this week is the new HoloSun PID weapons light. This is like 1,000 lumens weapon light. It's the HoloSun one, so it's new. It's out there. They have it. You can get it. You can also sign up for the Primary Arms newsletter and more by going to frn.deal/PA. And the code FRN still gives you a free mount with the GLX 1-6 optic purchase. So you can check out firearmsradio.net/PA for the latest deal there. Or you can believe us, but don't do that. Check it out. It's probably easier. So now we are to what we did in firearms. So, I guess I'll let all of you guys go. And I guess that includes Rusty trapping stuff, maybe, because he had to shoot a skunk.
Well, I'll go ahead and say I've been out of the loop because I was sick all week. I got the Krusty Krabs from friggin' SHOT Show, and it laid me low. So I did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you still sound kind of scratchy.
Yeah, it's weird. I have no idea what I'm going to sound like when I start talking.
Well, we could say something about that.
No, you don't know what I'm going to say when I start talking. I don't know what I'm going to sound like.
Okay.
Well, I was working all last week, so I really didn't have time to do a whole lot extracurricular-wise, so...
Gotcha.
Even over the weekend, it kind of sucked, but whatever. Make money, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Rusty?
I was running trap lines all open since I've been off, and bought it and fed up for I got to go buy another one, and got a third daughter one in black cherry Cerakote. So but I tell you what, Rugers are smooth. They're nice. And I think that'd be a good just beat-on pistol with that coat and that Cerakote. My single 6 cabinet as a safe queen. So.
Nice.
But we were doing a lot of shooting. Yeah, so I like it.
Nice. You're still cutting out a little bit, Rusty, but I think we caught most of that. just for your information. So I actually made it to the range. I had a bunch of stuff I needed to sight in and shoot and all kinds of weird stuff like that. So yeah, I had tons of ARs out. just tons. And it was a beautiful day, even though it was like 30 degrees or something, which wasn't terrible. It was a little colder when I got there. The wind was not blowing like it was at range day. So, I felt kind of warm. So there is that. I did then yesterday when I got home, sitting on the counter because Angie got it out of the door, was the new Primary Arms SLX 1-6 that I talked about last week a little bit. With their like fiber optic, super bright reticle. I don't know if I can get this up to
Yeah,
where,
we can see it.
Yeah,
The little dot.
Yeah, that's like at 5.
Really?
Dang,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Well,
That's nice.
Here's
Nice.
11.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Gee.
It's flaring from me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's second focal plane SLX line, but yeah, this is their new Firefly reticle, I think.
I was looking at their 300 blackout one, and I think their SLX line, I believe.
Yeah.
And for the price, those things are nice. I mean, I think I should order one.
This is the Nova, their new Nova reticle. But yeah, it's super bright, and that's why they made it. It's because people like me were complaining about in super bright sunlight you couldn't see the dot bright enough. Like if you're running 3-gun or something and you actually want to use it as a red dot, you kind of couldn't on certain light conditions. So they came up with this, and I really like it. As you can tell, it's not mounted on anything, so I need to mount it up. But yeah,
I'm just wondering how many people complain if I put a 1-6 or whatever on a 7.5 inch blackout.
I would think that would be a decent optic for that.
Yeah, I do too. I think it'd be awesome.
And they sent me their classic line in the 1-6. I would recommend the SLX for, $50 more or whatever. I have their 22 reticle SLX, like the old style, like from, I don't know, a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, probably 2 years ago now. And that thing's great. Especially it's on a 1022. It's like, hey, it's perfect for it. So
is that the one where it has like the off to the side? It shows like it has like a can or a crow or whatever. How you kind of like?
Yeah. It's got ranging, and then like in the instructions, you can range it off of like a beer bottle or like a crow or and so. But it works, and it's got drops for your average 22 long rifle and stuff, and it works really good for what it is. There's a review on the Firearms Insider if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I looked at that, and I was going to ask you about it.
Yeah, and for like a 1022 or something, if you want, do you really need like a 10 power optic on a 22? I mean, yeah, that's kind of how my thoughts were. So,
yeah.
And then you get them on sale; they're great. So announcements. Our friends over at Patriot Patch Co. Patch of the Month Club, as everybody knows, has cool stuff they send you every month. This month, this comes out February, is, the whatever rocket launcher says "Seeking Love" with a heart and some pink, smoke or something. It's always cool. They make cool stuff. They make great cleaning mats / mouse pads. Signs, you name it.
Also double as table mats.
Yeah, you could use them as that too. There's lots of stuff for them. Now, you can get our t-shirts on the FRN site or click the merch tab on the Firearms Insider if you were looking for one of those. There are affiliates and discount codes on the website. They're in the show notes also. There's a bunch: Gun Guys Garage, Brownells, Walker Defense, LA Police Gear, the Amazon Adable Optics, 511 Tactical, Power Tac Lights, JSD Supply, the Modern Spartan Systems, and Rough Cut Holsters. Those are all on there. So if you want to buy something, save some money, or just give us a few pennies off of it, we appreciate it. So, Rob, are you up for disclaiming?
I can disclaim.
Okay.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And now our main topic is sponsored by VZ Grips. VZ Grips has been
Easy
manufactured...
grips. You're taking over my stuff, Rob.
Okay.
Hold your road, Rob.
Well, then read it, dang it.
Go ahead, Rusty.
I'm going to smoke my
VZ
cigar.
Grips.
Read the spot.
Okay. VZ Grips has been manufacturing handgun grips since 2003. With a reputation for quality, consistency, and innovation, top-tier manufacturers choose VZ Grips. They come in a variety of styles, patterns, color, and manufacturing of proprietary G10, micarta, or carbon fiber. Available with varying degree of texture. VZ offers a wide range of grips for all different firearms tops. Made in the USA, VZ Grips offers you more than just handgun grips. Feature grip of the week is the 1911 Gatorback. I'm telling you, folks, this is a bad grip right here. If you look at that thing, it is super nice. It's going to grab your palms, I'm telling you. Check out VZ Grips at vzgrips.com. Coupon code GGR15 gets you 15% off handgun and rifle grips at vzgrips.com. And even look at their pencils that don't write.
Yeah, I was looking for my pencil that they gave me at SHOT Show, and it's no longer laying here. So, which means I'll probably stab myself later with it when I find it.
Tony's daughter's probably trying to do her homework with it right now, and she's going to fail.
No, it's Tony's daughter. She doesn't do homework.
Yeah, she just may be my daughter. Never understood homework. You taught me this all day. Let's have the test, and we quit bullcrapping.
She's still trying to figure out how to spell camel, Carmel,
Carmel.
Whatever that rifle is in there.
It's the Carmel. Yeah. But for the main topic, I have you this is not on the website. This is a, quick review of the 511 AT mid boots. These are particular ones are in coyote. They have like 5 different colors now. Black, like dark coyote, some navy color, some fossil color, and some like brown color. But either way, you get a look at them. There they are. That's all you get. You get a look at the pictures now. But podcast review only, because writing a review on shoes is not really going to do us much good. I mean, it will, but it's going to be up there, and yeah. So I did use these things at SHOT Show, as these guys on here can probably attest to. They saw me wearing them, or they didn't pay attention. They are comfortable for me, which was a good sign, which is part of the reason I wore them to SHOT. I was like, I've been wearing them a couple months before SHOT Show. And then I was like, these are comfortable enough to wear to SHOT Show. So I wore them to SHOT Show. Lots of walking, as everybody who's ever been there can attest to. The soles on them tend to be wearing quite well. I mean, SHOT Show doesn't really wear them out, but wearing them around on concrete and stuff like that does. They're still holding up better than some of the other hiking boots that I have, at least as far as that goes. So they have good traction. I don't know if you're watching the video, you can kind of see what the soles look like. But they do have pretty good traction on them, which is good if you're wandering around a muddy range or wherever you happen to be. Now, they do have one problem that I don't care for. And that is the tongue on the shoe is pretty short. So when you tie them, sometimes the top little where the laces cross will basically slip under the tongue. I found that if you tie them a little tighter, that helps. But if you're working a lot, like moving them around, dragging them on the toes and stuff like that's when it tends to happen more. Not a huge problem, hey. So the other thing that's great about them is they're super comfortable. They have removable insoles. They do run a little narrow. So If you have wider feet, they may not work, or order the wide size. These are the normal size, and I have kind of narrow feet, so they fit pretty good for me. This version is not waterproof. So if you're looking for a waterproof version, you're going to have to wait about 3 months until they come out with the waterproof version, which when I saw them at SHOT Show, they said they were coming out with the waterproof version. So I can kind of go over features, benefits. Basically, they have sizes from size 4 up to size 14. So if you have a larger shoe size, you're kind of out of luck. It has their Atlas, which is their all-terrain load assistance system to help with weight on the shoes itself. They have a TPR toe and heel protection. They are running Echo Foam, high rebound energy, return polyurethane, and Force Foam lightweight polyurethane impact cushioning. And so that's basically what you get. I'd probably give them about an 8 because they run narrow, but they have been lasting phenomenally. I have heard other reports that 511 boots / shoes are pretty good, and I've been having good luck with them. So there's your quick SHOT Show shoe report. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. I'll try and answer them.
Does it take Glock mags?
Yes, you could put a Glock mag in it. It's very uncomfortable with the Glock mag in it, though. Well, in fact, I can put this little Glock
Nice.
in it.
Hey, I got a question. Hold on, because I didn't look at it, and here's something important for me, because I work at a place where we go through metal detectors all the time.
Right.
We have to clear them. Does it have a metal shank, or do you know? Do they tell you?
I believe it doesn't. It has, if I remember correctly, they use something else besides metal. It's
okay.
I don't know. They didn't stop me going through the airport with them.
Take them off at the airport, bro.
Well, yeah, but they didn't flag them. So how much metal? The only metal that I know of that they have are the 2 eyelets at the top. The rest are not metal. So
yeah, because that is something I really wish more boot and shoe designers told you. Because again, just because of the environment I work in, at least like it doesn't have to be like the number one thing. You know what I mean? But as you're naming all of the amazing technology your shoes have,
right,
which is called tread, but great that you gave it a name. Just could you let us know if it has a steel shank in it?
Yep. Yeah, and I don't think these do. I think they're running like a TPU shank or something like that. So, but I mean, we can always find out. We could always ask him if you really cared. But since they have those 2 metal eye loops, I don't know if that would set off your detectors or not.
No, something like that doesn't.
But the full, yeah. I gotcha. Okay, well, that is the 511 AT mid boot review. I get emails from 511 because they're an affiliate all the time. I guess it is 511's 20-year anniversary, so they probably have some pretty good sales going on because of that. But hey, you guys do you. I'm just here telling you about shoes. So next up, go ahead.
I wear their pants every day at work, and I haven't had a problem with any of their stuff. I've even worn their boots for years. Yeah,
and I have a pair of their jeans that I wore out not too long ago. They're like tactical ones that have the extra like AR pockets on the sides, and they were fine. I mean, the only thing bad about those were the pockets were like short, and I'm used to like super deep pockets, and they were like short pockets. So I was like, this is weird, and then I still have one of their like button up, which are snap up, plaid shirts for carry, so you can unsnap them super quick to get to your gun or anything to that effect. And that shirt, I still wear it every once in a while. So I guess product spotlight and discussion now. Now you guys get the really good stuff. First up is something we talked about a little bit before. It is the Rock Island Armory 5.0. MSRP on this thing is $998.88. So we'll go over this a little more extensively, but it has their new, this is a full-sized 5-inch, 4.91 inch barreled 17 plus 1 9mm hammer fired, new hotness, I guess. Supposedly for competition use is basically what it does. It has a new recoil system that's supposed to maximize barrel mass and linear movement for super soft recoil. Of course, you can get it with or without optic sight cut. I think they say it's for the new Seymour sight is what the cut is. I don't know if that's a standard cut or not. It does have a lower bore access to basically help reduce muzzle rise. It is a slide in frame, so it's not slide outside of frame typically, so more CZ75-ish in that regard. They say it's a buttery smooth trigger. I'll talk about that in a little bit. It is a 2-piece modular grip, so you can probably get grip panels later from people or them, something to that effect. Let's see, what did I forget? Overall length is 8.11 inches. It is 1.33 inches wide. Let's see, overall height is 5.17. They say it weighs 2.47 pounds. The front side is a Dawson Precision and fiber optic on dovetail cut. The rear sight is the LPA adjustable on dovetail cut. Also available with the Seymour RTS2 red dot optic. Let's see. Finish is Cerakote. Trigger pull, they say, is 4 pounds. They say the purpose is personal protection. It does have a full pick rail on it, so even though it's hammer fired, it has a trigger safety on it. There's no manual safety on it, anything to that effect. I think that pretty much covers. Oh, it does have a square barrel instead of a round barrel. Figured I'd mention it. It's different, but I don't know if it really plays much part in how it acts. But I guess if they had one that had a round barrel and you could shoot them side to side, then maybe. But, besides that, I kind of liked the gun and I kind of didn't like the gun. These guys will be able to also mention what I think we all shot it at range day at SHOT Show. And if not, one of us didn't. I know at least 3 of us did. So when I shot it, I didn't really notice the recoil. It might have been a little softer. I mean, it's a full-size 9mm, so they don't have much recoil anyway. But what I noticed was the trigger, and the trigger I didn't care for. It was smooth, like they say, yes, but you had to pull it a distance. Probably not as far as a Glock trigger, maybe more like a SIG 320 trigger. And then it broke, which the break was okay. It wasn't like super fantastic, but it wasn't terrible. But here's what got me was the reset was all the way out. There was no like quick reset like with a Glock or something. You can half the trigger pull, you'll get a reset or something to that effect. With this, it was all the way out. So I'm looking at it as a competition gun going, no, the trigger pull's way too long every single time. I can't ride the reset. That's my opinion. Other than that, I thought it was a decent gun for the price. Now, would I use it in a competition? No. Would I maybe buy one just to shoot? Maybe. Home defense weapon? Maybe. If it's kind of one of those what you want to do with it. So I'll leave it open to these guys now, or not.
I didn't put enough rounds through it.
Well, they only give you 5 rounds.
Yeah, but
Yeah, to me, it was a nice shooting gun. I tactically fondled it before I shot it, and I liked the weight, the feel of it. The trigger was, I don't know if it was just that gun, or if it was just that gun, or if it was just how it's designed. But unless you put 300, 400, 500 rounds through a gun, you don't know how the trigger is going to really play out, in my opinion. Until it breaks in. But I think the concept of the way this gun is designed is very, very new and very great. And if it's supposed to be a competition gun, they need to work on the trigger a little bit, and they need to minus, I'm going to say it, get rid of the pick rail, because it's a competition gun. And I know people will probably say, no, this is not a carry gun, this is a competition gun. For the price that they're coming in at the lower end of a lot of the competition stuff. We talked about it ahead of time, and the only thing that we could really compare it to was like a CZ Shadow-ish, the way it's set. I kind of thought of like the Walther Q5, price-wise, magazine capacity-wise, but then again, not because of weight and not being hammer-fired and striker-fired combined. But if it's a competition gun, so be it. But I think it needs trigger work done, minus the pick rail, and don't carry this gun if it's going to have a light trigger on it, because you're going to get in trouble with it. But it needs a little work done, in my opinion, if it's going to be, if that's their sole purpose of this gun. And I do kind of like the square barrel on it. It's kind of neat. I mean, I'm not knocking the gun at all. It's new. Everybody's got to have their opinion. But I just don't have enough time on it to really give an honest. There you go about it.
Well, so I've been watching my video that I was taking over and over again, right? Because I'd heard about the thing the day before. And they talk about the weight. They talk about the square barrel. They talk about the trigger. Oh, and by the way, I tried to watch every video everybody else did on it too. And one of the brothers that are the owners, he said that because they had it with 2-pound springs in it, and they took them out and put the 4.5-pound springs in it. So they say they may be shipping it. If you want the competition spring set, they'll be shipping that with it. Or maybe it'll be an aftermarket thing, so you can have the competition trigger. So I think that's a good thing. I leave the pick rail because everybody's doing a crossover anyway, because Staccato started pushing their competition guns as duty guns. And I think that is the category they're trying to slide into, because that's what many of the firearms handgun companies that are practical/tactical have been working on. So I think that's the category they're trying to fall into, and that's why it has the 4-pound trigger, so you can use it as a duty gun. I think what happened with me was I was expecting that square barrel, that extra weight, the recoil impulse, all of it to be on par with the Largo Alien that changes the recoil impulse. And it didn't as much as I assumed it would from all the description you get. From all the things they said were the reason they designed it like it was. Again, I only shot 2 magazines and 10 rounds through it. So I'm going to be 100% fair, because this is what I said out there. I need to shoot this more because you have to get the feel of it. And again, it wasn't drastic, but we were shooting a lot of guns, but I wanted to definitely get my hands on that one immediately. And I think they did a pretty quick job of it, because Rusty and I were there together. I don't know if all of us were there together, because we kind of split up. But it's like, I see what you're saying, but I need to, because there's so much you want to take in. You want to take in the trigger. I want to see if this flat trigger pulls all the way back or too far back from my big hand. You know what I mean? Is it breaking in 90 degrees? Because I had that question on my mind too. but there are other people waiting in line, and they only had like 2 of them, it seemed. So I'm like, I don't want to take up other people's time, but I really want to look into this gun because it's brand new. Also, they made them, it's not a mistake because the gun itself isn't out yet. It needs holster support because now you have the square barrel and it looks a whole bunch different. And I don't know whether it'll even fit. Because a good thing about the flashlight, maybe you can use the ALS holster, something like that actually locks onto the flashlight if you want to use it for competition or a duty carry. I wish them the best of luck because they said it's actually going to be built here, but they're going to source materials from other places if it's less expensive because they're trying to meet a price point of sub $1,000 with this gun, right? Or actually it's like $1,200 with this gun.
Yeah, with the optic. It's sub.
Yeah, so they're in the category.
Yeah, sub 1,000, and they are manufacturing it in the U.S. Of course, plastics and metals may come from overseas, basically, but they're machining it, assembling it, basically building it in the U.S.
So yeah, I wish them the best. I can't wait for it to come out. Hopefully, somebody brings one to the diversity shoot or our relationship with the relationship we're working on. The relationship we're working on with Rock Island gets it to us for free $99. And as far as the magazines themselves, they're Beretta 92 mags with a different mag release cutout, according to them. So, worst case scenario, get yourself some Beretta 92 mags and a Dremel.
Or a file.
There you go.
There you go. So, I guess that was the Rock Island Armory 5.0, or you got anything on it, Rob? Or we kind of said it all, so okay. So
I think Rob shot the 40 caliber. I think
he might. Yeah, I don't.
Rob. You don't know what he did.
Next up, the Taurus 605 Toro. Now, MSRP on these is $450.99. Yes, it's your basic 605, but Taurus took their revolvers and made them optics compatible. So you could now they show a picture with the hollow sun on it, which I think is pretty cool. It's still the 605 small frame. They're running a 3-inch barrel on these, which I think with that optic is good. I put the 605 because it is 357 Magnum. The other one they have is just, I don't remember the model, but it's 38 Special. They're touting it as the first ever optics ready revolver. Yeah, okay. The optics plate's compatible with popular Holosun K footprint. So I think that's the RMSC, but bolt pattern. It has compact grips on it. They say, stainless steel cylinder for maximum durability. As you get, it's got a smooth trigger, five rounds, as you could probably guess. Double action, single action. It basically, overall length totals 7.5 inches. Height is 4.8. It weighs 23.52 ounces unloaded. It is a revolver, so it's 1.41 inches wide. Basically, it's a matte black finish, but it's stainless steel parts. So there you go. I don't really have much to say about this, except, it's a cool option to have. I know Taurus has tried to step up their game in the last few years, and hopefully they continue that so they start doing better. I don't currently own a Taurus revolver, but I know plenty of people that do, and some of them shoot it quite a bit and haven't had any problems. So
yeah, I do. It's a Safe Queen.
Well,
it's for sale.
It's for sale.
Nice.
Now Rob's selling stuff.
Yeah, I saw so much stuff at SHOT Show. I'm like, I want to buy that. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to go into debt. So I'm going to be selling a lot of crap in the next few weeks so I can start buying more crap.
There you go.
Yeah, I've looked at this, and I was laughing when they had the audacity to say how many years of pistol scopes are there out there that all of a sudden these people are acting like they're the first one to put an optic on? Yeah.
On a revolver.
Ruger Blackhawk entered the chat and said, "Shut your face." Smith and Wesson said, "Shut your mouth."
Hey, you're going to like this comment. Taurus is just doing what Ruger has done to them. You know.
Yeah, right. We're the first ones to do this.
Exactly.
Okay, pal.
I think Jerry Mikulak been shooting 1,000 yards with a 9mm with a red dot for years.
Yeah, but that was custom. We all laughed at this as the first optics ready revolver.
Is the first optic ready revolver.
Okay.
Now,
go ahead.
I think they have a good line of revolvers. I'm glad they put the optic on it. Maybe that'll be a new thing. I just and you can leave it off, so it's no big whoop. You know what I mean? I mean, to make a revolver optics capable, I think is a smart move in 2023. Now, I think one of the reasons a lot of guys get a revolver is because of the traditional part of it, and they might not take advantage of this, but I think it's pretty cool because there are a whole bunch of new people coming in that might want the simplicity of a revolver with the ability to use a red dot, especially a lot of the new shooters that don't feel kind of safe with something without a safety, or maybe will want something they can slide in their pocket, which also putting this red dot on top of it kind of takes away from that a little bit too. But there may be a spot for this, and I'm glad they took it up.
What you got, Rusty?
You know, I like Taurus revolvers. I've got several of their 85s. My first revolver that I honestly bought myself was a 66 357 Magnum. In fact, I couldn't tell you. I mean, it was like 1994, 5, something like that. And they were good revolvers. I've never had a problem with the revolvers. The semi-automatics are a different story, but the revolvers are being good. I had one of their 605 polys. It was okay, but the revolvers have been good. The red dot on the revolver, I can see. I knew it's coming out. I know people that's been doing it for a while. That's been custom doing it themselves. To say that they're first doing it, yeah, no, you can't do that because I mean they've been putting Picatinny rails on them for a long time. I mean, I've had a Blackhawk with a pistol scope on it for a long time in there, and a Super Red Hawk. So, but if that's something you want to run with, great, go for it. If it stays together and the screws don't pop out of it, you know, so be it. Because, you know, we've all seen that video of where the screw and a spring popped out of it, of their executive model. But I've had a bad taste in my mouth with Taurus Rossi over the past few years of one of their rifles they made. But that was one of their rifles. The revolvers have always been good. I've never had an issue with them. So would I say go for it? Yeah, I probably would. Go with it and get it, because I've actually looked at their 856s, and this is something that I've actually thought about. And being 357, I would like to see a 4-inch barrel, but it'd have to be probably their medium-sized line instead of their small-sized line. I'd like to see it be red dot capable in that, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I actually liked that. You know, you figure small frame revolvers, you think like snubbies and stuff, and that's why when I saw the 3-inch on it, barrel on it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Plus,
a 3-inch is like a very workable man's gun, in my opinion. It fits that perfect niche of like, I can get performance out of the 357. Not all of it, but I get good performance out of it. Better than I can a 2-inch or 2.5-inch. I can still push it, and I still get good performance out of a 38 plus P out of it.
Yep. And
I still get good sight radius, and I can still hit that 25-yard target if I need be.
Yep.
And, you know, and a lot of manufacturers of ammo are making ammo for that snubby revolver, and that's gonna get that performance out of it.
Yep.
And with that red dot, you can dial it in tight. Because a lot of people, we all know, you shoot a snubby with a 2-inch barrel. I mean, it's like throwing rocks at a barn door. You don't know where it's going to hit.
Yeah, because you got a sight radius that's like 3 inches.
Exactly. So this could be a good thing, and I hope it picks up, because I'd like to see more people do it. Because red dots, all of us, I'm getting old. You're getting old. We're all getting old. We're all over 40 here. Our eyesight is not great, and I want to see more prism sights come out this size, like the Hollis and Cape footprint, to put on there, and then I would be like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
I put it on everything.
Yeah, no kidding. That's and I get what you're saying, because I'm blind. I just admit I'm blind. So, and that's the thing, is even if they put this on like a 2-inch, because it's an optic, you no longer have a sight radius. Your sight radius is whatever distance to the target is. You know.
Yeah, now you only have to overcome a 12-pound trigger pull on a 1.5 pound handgun.
Yeah.
Or a 1 pound handgun. So I mean, that really is, I think it's going to be cool. I'm glad Taurus did it. Hopefully it catches on. Hopefully nobody tells Smith & Wesson about the TR8 that, you know, was red dot capable, optics capable a decade ago, with pick rail all around it.
Yeah.
What was the Quarth revolver that come out here?
The Mongoose.
Yeah.
It had pick rails all the way around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the Taurus 605 Toro. Next up is the IWR Carmel. Now, it's a Carmel. It's not Carmel. There's an R in there.
Whatever. The lady who talked to us about it could have called it anything she wanted.
So, MSRP.
That's why Rusty liked it.
MSRP on this.
She is amazing.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Frontwards and backwards.
Okay. You could have pumped the brakes before saying that.
MSRP is $17.99 for this thing. Now, of course, some of these guys saw this. I did not, but I put it in here, one, because I knew they did, and two, because I think it's pretty cool. So it's their new semi-automatic short stroke gas piston rifle. You know, it's IWI. It is a short stroke gas piston, as I said. It is completely ambidextrous, can be converted easily in the field. I'll go over a little bit more on that. It has a 2-position gas regulator, so basically you have regular, or if you're running it, suppressed. Cold hammer forged, chrome lined, free floating barrel, of course. Monolithic aluminum mill standard 1913 rail. M-lock accessory rails at 3, 6, and 9. They say it's designed for minimum operator and armorer. All metal parts in the weapon are corrosion resistant, meaning they're like some sort of stainless, I would guess. It's high strength impact modified polymer for the body. It's 5.56 NATO. If you didn't use a standard AR mags, basically. It has a side folding stock with a variable length of pull and comb height. And of course, because it's short stroke gas piston, it can be fired with the stock folded. The fully ambidextrous stuff is the safety lever magazine release, bolt catch, non-reciprocating charging handle, and large trigger thing. It already has 3-point sling attachments, QD or cord style. Now, so for the ambi charging handle, that's something cool about this. You pull it back maybe 2/3 of the way, and then you just like hit that charging handle and it pushes it over to the other side. So if it's on the left side, you want it on the right side, you pull it back and basically hit it over and it moves over, and now it's on the other side. You know, I thought it was pretty cool without seeing it. You guys saw it, so you're probably going to talk about it more. It does weigh 8 pounds, 2 ounces. I think that's the only thing I missed. 16-inch barrel, if you wondered, but that was probably a guess too. If you're Tony, Yeah.
if you're Tony, you just started describing this gun to the lady who works for IWI, and you've never seen this gun before, and you describe this gun completely out, and I'm looking at it across the table, looking at another gun. I said, Tony, what the hell are you describing?
That was
Tony?
hilarious.
Yeah, Tony's describing this gun, and I'm looking at another gun. I said, Tony, you're telling her about the wrong damn gun here.
I was more right than wrong, but it's hilarious because I thought it was the Galil. I thought it was the Galil we were looking at because I was standing there talking to her, and the new rifle was laid out, and Rusty was actually looking at it, and I was like, yeah, it has this, it has that, it has this, and she was like,
What is this guy talking about?
She was like, you're more right than wrong, but... And I was like, holy crap, it's a new gun.
I kept looking over at the Galil on the other side, and I kept looking back, and she kept looking at me, and I kept looking back at the Galil, and I was like, what have I got in my hand? Then she told me, and I was like, Tony, this is the wrong gun.
I looked
but
down,
she
I'm
said,
like...
You're right.
Yeah, I was right mostly. And
No, you were right if you were talking about a Galil.
But here's the thing. It has all the features a Galil does. I mean, I was not wrong.
It's sweet.
I was checking it out because I think it looks better than the Galil.
Oh, by far, in my opinion.
It looks much better. Because, dude, I saw the Galil when it came out, when they improved it, and it just really looked kludgy. So it just in no way wanted that. My IWI rifle was a Tavor. I mean, that's the one I'd want. So when I look at this, it's like, holy crap! It's like a pretty much a Masada or a Scar, but it looks well done. I like the way it was set up. I like the features that it contains. It doesn't take any AR parts outside of the pistol grip and the magazines. So it's not an AR, which I think is great. And I hope it takes off because it's been out. I mean, they designed it in 2009. They had it available in Israel in 2019, 2018, but they changed it up some because of American market. So they changed it up and they brought it to the American market. They're producing it here. Hopefully, when they have it out, because I invited the IWI rep to our Pennsylvania location diversity shoots. So hopefully she brings some so people can actually get some trigger time with it. I was reading the comment sections, and dude, sometimes I think gun people are friggin' morons. It seems like they can only like what they've been told to like through years and years of marketing. So I'm looking at the Israeli gun. I'm looking at how it's built. And they're like, oh, why is this? And why is that? And I'm like, oh, the plastic. Oh, it's polymer. I'm like, so's your scar, bro. like so's the gun you drool over and want to have. Same thing. You think what, Israel is not advanced and they don't have advanced technologies, or I don't know, have any ability to war fight?
Man, this thing, it picked up. It's balanced. You can smack the stock and it slaps open, and the charging handle is right where it needs to be. The controls are right where it needs to be. Because, I mean, we were there for 45 minutes, and, I mean, we went over this gun back and forth, and, I mean, it was like, she went over detail for detail this gun, and, I mean, like, we went over it. We did everything but take it apart. And I guarantee if we would have asked, she probably would have let us. And,
I mean, she's an amazing lady. She's very knowledgeable. She was knowledgeable about the product, and she ran us through it from top to bottom, front end to front end. And the video I have of Rusty running it down after, because she did it. And the video I even used today in the reel was Rusty doing a darn good job of showing all the features on this thing. And I just left the sound out and played the video. And I think you guys should check it out. I'll put it up again Friday when the show drops. But I think Rusty did a great job. I'm looking forward to this. It has that thin pencil barrel. I wonder how kind of heat dispersion will handle that. With, a higher round count, like if you're running it in a class. But we'll find out. I wish him the best of luck. I like the look of it. And yeah, I'd love to get one for free $99.
Well, I'm telling you, there's very few firearms that have come out that I said, okay, I get excited about rifle-wise. that I would go spend my money on, like that amount of money, and buy. This is one of them. I will go buy this one.
I like the fact, I mean, because if you got to compare it to an AR, you got to compare it with an upper end AR like an American Defense, because it has ambidextrous safety, ambidextrous slide lock, ambidextrous everything built into it from jump. So to get there, this is the price range you're going to be in for those features, period. So, I mean, everybody wants to compare it to the base price AR, and it's like, yeah, but these aren't options you're going to have on your base AR. This is options you're going to have on Cobalt Kinetics. This is options you're going to have on the higher end Gucci AR-15s. And this is straight from IWI stock, no Gucci. And again,
it's bufferless.
Yep. And built, again, this thing is not brand new. It's just new here. So it's taken its lumps and its beatings already before it came stateside. It's already got 3 years or at least 4 years on it.
Yeah, and I would say that the closest thing you could kind of compare it to would be the Scar, but it's $1,000 cheaper.
Yeah, or the Bushmaster ACR.
Right.
Or the Robinson Arms ACR, excuse me.
Well, I was thinking stuff you could actually get.
Yeah, right. True that.
Okay, so that was the IWI Carmel, whatever you want to call it.
It's Hebrew, right? It's Hebrew for garden or something like that, according to what I looked up.
Yeah, well, Yehuda's not here, so I can't help you.
So Yehuda was in the shot show either.
Yeah, that's right. You guys couldn't find him.
He'll never be on Tony's show. We know that.
Well, that's a given. Well, that's because Tony can't find him.
Horrible with that.
Yeah,
that was horrible with Fine Waldo.
No kidding. So, next up is the Tandem Cross Manicore 1022 drop-in trigger assembly. MSRP on this is $374.99. This is their new complete 1022 drop-in trigger system. So, if you're building a 22 or just want to majorly upgrade yours, it has a lot of functions to it. So when you look at the price, you're kind of like, oh. But then when you add up the options, if you're going to do all this by yourself, you kind of get the option. Of course, you can get it in red because it's tandem cross, which basically means the trigger, the safety, and the mag release and mag block or slide block are red or just regular black. So one of the reasons it's more pricey is it's a CNC machined aluminum housing instead of, the plastic ones like they're using nowadays, or the half plastic or the cast ones, depending on when you got your 1022. Of course, it's drop-in ready. The trigger is adjustable for travel, and trigger pull weights from 2 to 2.5 pounds up to 5+ pounds. It comes with their dual directional fire switch extended magazine release, their bolt keeper extended bolt lock, their ultimate trigger kit, which is the trigger in it, and the cornerstone rotary safety. All of those come in this little package. And I can't say about like the mag release and that stuff, but they sent me years ago when they came out with the ultimate trigger kit, and I have that in one of my 1022s. And that trigger itself for a 1022 trigger is pretty phenomenal. I must say it's pretty good. So I like the safety because it's like a flip up down safety. So those are cool. And the extended bolt release or mag release you can get to. And it looks like the trigger guard shape is also slightly different than the Ruger version. I like tandem cross stuff. All the stuff I have has been decent. I'm sure this is too. And so if you're looking for just to drop in everything for your 1022, this might be the case.
I think this is, personally for me, you buy a Brownell's 1022 receiver, and you're going to build something, and you take and you buy their receiver, and then you buy like, say, a Saxon barrel or somebody's carbon fiber wrap barrel, and you're going to build a 1022 to do exactly what you want for like Appleseed or or
Still challenge.
Steel Challenge. That's where I was going next. This is what you want, because this thing is like, all the controls are right there. You can push, pull to drop magazines. Your thumb is right there either side. Your index finger is right there to flip. This thing is nice. It's CNC. A lot of people don't realize CNC is like, all in the CNC is the way to go. It's better than any of the cast or half and half or whatever. I mean, I've modified so many 1022s to put the extended bolt lever and then like the bolt catch and stuff like that. And I filed and dremeled and made crap to make these things work, to be faster before this stuff come out. And then run the BK whatever, or I can't even remember what they are now. I've messed with them.
BX trigger from Ruger.
The BX triggers.
Yeah,
can't even compare to what this is. This thing is like, it's like taking a Ford Pinto and putting it into like a running against a Lamborghini. This thing is amazing. So if you want to hop up your 1022 to the next level, this is what you need.
And being tandem cross, I would almost say that here in the future sometime they're probably going to start making a complete receiver set, because they started doing it with the handguns, or modifying them and selling them, as complete like pistols, like the Ruger 22 series Mark 5s or whatever. So I'm guessing they're probably going to do that.
So I was down there because they were on the first floor, and I ran into them as I was going to go interview for Shot TV. And one of the guys said, "Hey, you want to come over?" So I walked over and I started talking to him, but I was like, I really got to go. I got somewhere to be, because I had to interview somebody, actually. And that was my interview with Zeke Stout that I had to get to. So I was like, all right, this is really cool. And they gave it to me. They put it in my hand, and I got to squeeze it. And I was like, because I was kind of going, all right, I'll get back to these guys. But click, whoa, wait a minute. And I reset it. I'm like, this is stupid. They were like, it's totally adjustable, dude. It's 100% adjustable. You can do anything you want with this thing. All right, so, and most people go, yeah, but it's the cost of an entire Ruger 1022. Well, this ain't what I'm talking about you doing, dude. If you already own a 1022 and you've put the BX trigger in it and you've tweaked it and played with it. I ran into a dude named Major Pandemic. He has a website. He also has a YouTube channel that he doesn't do a lot with. But he decided to go through a little time of building Ruger 1022s just to see what he can do with them. And from the ground up, and he built different levels of Ruger 1022, including a precision Ruger 1022. Well, this is kind of a race gun Ruger 1022. And this could be the basis of something just cool and different. And that's what I find that's awesome about now that Brownells and other manufacturers are starting to make 1022 receivers. You're dealing with one of the most popular semi-automatic rimfire guns ever made. They passed over 10 million of these things made 5-6 years ago. And now you can build it up and just have a race gun. And I think you'd have a ball, especially if you live in a freer state where you can run 25 round magazines and just shoot this thing, shoot lights out with it. So I think it's pretty cool. The company's pretty cool. They supported the work we've done, and we've had some of the Tandem Cross kids. Actually, I've shot with them, and they've provided prizes for our kids shoot. So it's a company that actually puts their money where their mouth is about growing the Second Amendment shooting community. So if you want to support it because of that, cool. But I think it's pretty awesome.
There you go. So
yeah, you compare that with like one of the other barrel manufacturers. I want to say and put it in there with it. Like if you want to build one, Feddersen barrel, they're out of Knoxville, Tennessee. he makes barrels for like the Olympic guns and stuff. And Feddersen makes some of the best stuff around. And he does a lot of guns. He made one for the Appleseed shoot that if somebody scored like in the high 90s, that he would give a gun away. Nobody has claimed this gun yet. And it's an Olympic built gun, and nobody's claimed it's like a 98 is what you got to shoot.
That's
yeah. But yeah, someday somebody will do it.
So I'm working on that.
nice.
Yeah, no kidding. So that was the Tandem Cross Manicore 1022 trigger assembly. Next up and last is the Kershaw Covalent. MSRP on this is $89.99. Street price is $55 or thereabouts. So this is one of their new knives, I should say. I mean, it's a Kershaw, so mid-sized is what they say. It's a drop point blade. It does run their manual KVT ball bearings. It's got a Duralock system on it, reversible deep carry clip. It is gray in color for the scales. Of course, it's made in China, as we could guess. Blade length is 3.2 inches, so it's right in there where I prefer blade length. Now, it does have a black oxide black wash coating. Not a big deal. Thickness is 0.107 thousandths of an inch. It's 4.4 inches long closed. The handle is glass-filled nylon. It is not G10 or something like that. Handle, it's only a half-inch wide. Overall length is 7.6 inches. It weighs 2.8 ounces, and they are using D2 steel in this. So that's kind of the reason I put it in here is they've brought out some more knives with D2, and it does have their Duralock system, which locks the blade, and you got to pull the little thing back to open it back up. It is a flipper. I'm sure it's comparable with other ones. Kershaw's always kind of been in that, range where you could buy a knife and not worry about losing it. I do like that they are using D2 steel on it because I think it's a better steel than their 8CR MOV 5000 or whatever it was. Now, and when street price is $55, I don't cringe at it like their MSRP of $90. So.
Yeah, I actually like it. I was checking it out. I wasn't really blown away by the design. Like there's nothing
fancy,
sexy, or cutting edge about it at all. But it's spring assist, right?
I believe it is. It's
because the way I saw it says a flipper open, but I think it's spring assist.
It is, yeah.
It doesn't have the G2, but again, it's like $55. And I think this is just a solid work knife, in my opinion.
Yeah,
with good steel, because when like Kershaw is selling their Emerson for like $44 now, but it still has that can opener steel on it.
I like that.
So it's like,
I'm not saying that D2 is like the highest quality steel when there's S20 and S35 and stuff like that, but D2 was in the $90 range like 5 years ago. Then it was down to $70. Now we're in the $50s, and we have a working steel. We have a good work knife steel that I think is just the best bang for the buck. When it comes to knife steel, again, not trying to be fancy, just trying to have a working knife that retains a sharp edge. I think that's where we're at right now with this, and I think the price is right. I like the deep pocket carry. This thing will disappear completely in your pocket, so no one even knows you have it, and I think that's the good part. I think the price is right, that if it does come out of your pocket and you misplace it, you're not losing your mind because you lost a $150 knife. It's a $50 knife. That sucks. But it's a $50 knife that you'll carry because it doesn't weigh a lot, but it's just the right size to get work done and not be really intimidating. But worst case scenario, you can use it to defend yourself. Yeah. I didn't mention the super deep pocket clip, but yeah, you can actually see it. It's sticks out even from the backside. You can see how it'll disappear completely.
Gone.
Not even a teeny bit showing. It'll disappear.
And it uses brass washers in it, like it uses quality material. So it's not like some cheesy nylon thing that'll jam up sooner or later. I think this is a really great value. And it's Kershaw, man. It's Kershaw doing what Kershaw does, which is when you buy those Chinese-made knives, they've been giving you more and more quality for the amount of money you spend, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see Kershaw bring out a quality knife for a budget price with a D2 blade. I've owned several Kershaw knives, and for the money, I've never really been that impressed with them because the blade steel has not been that great on them. You know, I've got a buck 110 right here. This is the auto knife. It's got an excellent blade on it. I've got a bunch of Chinese knives like the Best Tech and a Ceviche that have D2, and I'm a D2 fan. D2 is a working man's blade steel, and that's why you go to any manufacturing plant that does tool and die work. Their dies that they're punching out stuff for manufacturing is D2. That's why it's there, because it's hardened steel and it works. And so D2 is a great steel. I mean, yeah, you might have to work a little harder to get it sharpened, but when you get it sharp, it's easier sharp. Strop it once a week, twice a week, in your leather. And you take care of it, it's going to take care of you, because I run D2 on just about everything I have, and I love it. It's either D2 or better. Yeah. That's the way I base my knives.
Yeah, and that's and like we always say, it's like, yeah, if you lose it, it's a steel that you can actually work your knife with and use, right. And it's not like it's as hard to sharpen as like S35 or even, but it's a less expensive steel, but it's useful, and it's not like you're gonna break it very easily or chip it. And even if you do, then whatever. You lose it, it's $50. Yeah.
And I think Rusty is right when it comes to Kershaw on that blade steel. Look, you either keep the $30 and below and know what steel you're getting, or you'd have to go well over $100. Because between the 30 and the like 100, you didn't get that quality of steel or design, I felt, with Kershaw. Like you get the Kershaw Shuffle, the Shuffle 2, but then the level up at blade steel and design, you got to go with the Leak, which is taking you up to the $70 to $100 level, or going to the Launch Series, which is over $100.
Yep.
But to me, they didn't really have anything until you got into that higher end, and still, it was questionable steel. So now they're a lot better off, and I appreciate the work they're putting in now.
Yeah, that's exactly. So that was the Kershaw Covalent. And sponsor number 3, we don't have one. So if you're interested, please contact us. We have an ad spot available. If you're interested, hey, hit us up. So we have listener feedback. This JM in Kentucky gave us 5 stars. He said it got better with age. Says, I remember years ago when they started, so he must have been listening a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It was
sticking around.
Exactly. Especially it was disorganized, and they would talk about some products and competitions, and most didn't know the answer. And I would have already voiced it out loud to myself. And then a few minutes later, after they did a few Google searches and would say the same answer I already said. I was about to drop them after a year, and they didn't post anything, and then they started to come back strong. Now they are more organized and already have all their reviews and research done. They are starting to get out there more and experience more products and competitions, where now this podcast is starting to be more informational to me than when it first started. Keep it up, guys. So thank you, JM. We appreciate it. We appreciate you sticking around and wading through all the, learning curve that we did years and years ago. And
yeah, dude, that's hilarious because it had me thinking of like when we first started.
oh yeah, exactly. And then and it was like, okay, and you know, we've come a ways, quite a ways, you know. And it's like when the first year that I did it, that I ran it, it was like I was trying to do stuff, and now it's like, okay, I got it, you know, or most of the time. I can't say always, but you know, you get it, and you just get better, and you get the flow better. So thanks for sticking around. We appreciate it. Now, Tony
don't have anything right now. Don't have new dates or anything. So when we launch, because February is right around the corner, when we launch, it's going to be on. I got some giveaways. I got a brace giveaway because F the ATF. And I'm going to actually, February 1st, I'm going to break it out to do a giveaway, dog.
Yeah.
Look, you can still have this thing.
Yeah.
It's up to you what the hell you do with it. If you want to register, register. But Tony's giving one away because screw you. You're overreaching, and I'm giving you a prize. So
that's right. Well, you know, all I was going to say is, you know, as you guys know, I got tomorrow morning, I have to go in for grand jury selection, and hopefully I don't get selected this time, because I just can't put in that much time basically, but I'm going to wear Tony's favorite shirt.
Nice.
Hey,
and
yo,
you know, and if they ask, well, thanks to the ATF, I'm now a criminal.
Yeah, right.
I have via my trail cams, I have a possum in one of my leg hold traps. So I will be videoing me doing a live release of this possum tomorrow. So y'all watch and see if I go to the hospital or not, because I'm going to video this and post it on my YouTube channel and on Instagram. So this will be entertaining tomorrow morning. It's going to be wet, and I have to forge a creek to get across to it.
Oh, great. Another creek. Are you?
Yeah.
So we may be interviewing next week's show for a new co-host.
or
if this Redneck's Gone Wild video doesn't turn out like you want it and becomes a Faces of Death video, we will be interviewing for a new co-host. Thanks a lot.
Hopefully his daughter's bringing the stapler.
Nice.
So, yeah. So you can send.
So we'll see if my ass gets eat up or not.
There you go. So send questions, comments, or feedback to us at gungearreview@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review somewhere like JM in Kentucky did. And check out all the other great shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.net. Don't forget to visit us at Firearms Insider at firearmsinsider.tv. Of course, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Firearms Insider. And I think we still qualify as the largest pound-for-pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
Epstein didn't kill himself.